Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, another hamster on my shoulder. It is another bright and beautiful day. The birds are outside singing. It is 7:20 a.m. on Sunday, the 8th of July, and I have a little booga boogle in my hand. She is soft and fluffy. And she was sleeping, so I made noise outside of her cage going booga, booga boogle, until she poked her nose out and came out and walked into my hand. So now here's little booga boogle, and I'm going to put her back into her cage so that she can go back to sleep. She's being an absolute sweetheart. You are a sweetie. Here we go, little one. Thank you very, very much. There we go. She did not run into her house. She's staying outside of her cage outside of her house, so it's good. She went underneath the there's a ramp. I'm sorry about that. I said she went underneath this ramp that goes up to the second floor, and she hid underneath that when I put her down, but then she just came right out, so it's good. There are a couple things I wanted to say this morning. I just glued my lower plate in, so my denture adhesive is of course squishing out from underneath it as I speak, and I'm getting blobs of adhesive that I'm having to squish down with my tongue. Otherwise, I'm going to have to be going and pulling them out. I hate having dentures, but I like being able to eat. My teeth coming out weren't exactly my fault. I brushed my teeth daily, sometimes twice daily. I flossed. But both of my parents lost their teeth in their mid-20s. So my genetic heritage for teeth was very poor. And in the area I grew up in the time I grew up in, Bellingham, Washington, in the 60s, there was not good water. They didn't have fluoride and such, so my teeth, but I kept them until I was in my late 40s, early 50s, but by that time, they had just been all gone. In fact, my front teeth up here were gone, not because of bad decay or anything like that, but my lower jaw has been jutting forward over time. So your front teeth are here, you know, and your lower teeth slide like this as you chew and eat, but my lower jaw has jutted forward. My teeth started sliding together and scraping and getting thinner and then going bang, 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 and then started coming up like this. So my upper teeth were banged down to the gum line, and my lower teeth were on the way. The rest of my teeth were in just as bad a shape. Oh, it was terrible, but I kept them as long as I could, till they all had to come out. Of course, I didn't get them all done at one time. It took several years of getting like 2 or 3 pulled out at a time, letting my mouth heal up, letting me gather up some money and pay some stuff off, because I was using this thing called Care Credit at the time, which is like a healthcare credit card. You pay for stuff like getting your teeth pulled out up to X amount of dollars, and it's done. They'll pay for it. You got like well, it depends on what your limit is. I had like a $1,300 limit, and I ran it up to the edge all the time and then paid it down enough until I could get a few more teeth pulled out. And then pay it down, a few more teeth pulled out, until my mother, before she died, actually sent me $3,000. Didn't send it to me, actually. Sent it to the denture people, and we got the rest of my teeth done. We got these done. I still need to call them up because they don't fit perfectly. In fact, they just I had a horrible, horrible pressure sore over here where I had to keep these things out during times I wasn't recording because, oh my God, it hurt. Pressure sore so bad. So I gotta see if I can get these things still worked on without it costing me a lot of money. And I haven't had a chance to do it, but I need to call up on Monday, which is a full week after I told them that, you know, I can't pay for my storage unit, so it might be opened up and emptied out already. I don't know. But I'm going to call up the storage unit people because a kind contributor / subscriber, better word for that, subscriber, has been asking, if you pay it, will they not do that? And I have been falling asleep and just been so busy that I haven't even had a chance to contact them. And what with the holiday and everybody closing down early, it's just been a mess. So Monday morning, I'm going to call them up, see if there's anything left, if there's any hope, if it's still shut, and then see if I can get at least pay for it, maybe a little bit, see what happens. I don't know. I can't, but if they will, then maybe somebody can help. I don't know. So we shall see. I took a shower this morning. I am physically exhausted. It's one of the reasons I'm so late again today. I actually woke up at 20 to 6, and it was a pretty bad night. I fell asleep here in my chair at around 4 or 5 o'clock and didn't wake up until around 10. So my sleep schedule was messed up right there. And then I didn't realize this, but I was trying to go to sleep because I went to bed at around between 10:30, 11, something like that. And so I was in bed early trying to get to sleep. And just, I was not able to sleep. I was hurting. I had bad insomnia. My brain was running. I just could not get comfortable. I was just doing very, very poorly. This was even after I showed this tube of this cannabis oil yesterday. This is all I have left because last night I used about a quarter of a tube. And then this morning to take my shower, I used another quarter of a tube. It's about a quarter or a third, about a quarter of a tube I use at a time. I pour it into a spoon, then out, and then just swish it in my mouth for the 30 seconds and then swallow. But I took some of that, and I was wondering why I was unable to get to sleep, why I was hurting so much. Then I figured, hey, you know the way I'm feeling? This is like when my first 12 hours after I was withdrawing of methadone. I was like, oh, I bet I forgot to take my methadone because I fell asleep. So I got up, came in here, took a methadone tablet, well, half, went back to bed, and then just was reading on my tablet because I was wired. There was no hope of getting to sleep because I was hurting so much. It had been like 45 minutes I'd been laying there and just hurting, unable to sleep. But I took that methadone tablet and was just reading. Within like 10 minutes, I was so tired. And then just shut the thing off, and then I was out. So a lot of things happened that knocked me out quick, thank goodness. So it worked. But this morning, as stated, I got up at 20 to 6 and then took a shower. It takes a while to get a shower done. I have to take a little space heater, and it's one of these radiator type space heaters, so it's got like it heats up oil or some such, and then it goes through the radiator, because it looks just like a regular radiator that you'd stick on a wall, except it's a portable unit that you plug in and then it heats up. I put that in there because the bathroom where I have to take my shower is freezing. Cold air somehow just comes pouring. I mean, there's a vent in the ceiling where, you know, it goes whoosh, and it would suck air out. When you're not doing that, cold air just pours straight down into that bathroom and then just comes whooshing out into the rest of the house. It is freezing in there, and I am very susceptible to cold. If it gets too cold and I can't get warm, I will fall to the ground and have like seizures, but I'm just shivering. Something happened when I ran up temperatures too high during a couple times when I had cellulitis, because whenever I got really sick with cellulitis, it would blast my fever up to around 105 until I could get to the hospitals. And so my temperatures, my fevers got way too high for way too long, and it's done something to my brainstem now, where if I get too cold, I have to clamp down hard, full body, and it just hurts. It aches because I've got to clamp down my entire body, because if I don't, I am going to be on the ground and seizing. Sucks. So I had the space heater in there, and I finally got into the shower and taken the shower around 6 o'clock. So now it's 7:28, because even though I finished slightly before 7, it takes time to get dressed and things all together. And then, of course, I had to fight with my kitty. Amelia is over there on a chair that I brought into the room. Excuse me, so much pollen and leaf mold in the air because it's been raining. Thumbs up. And it being a forest out there, it's not just a bug factory. It is a mold and other fungus and such factory. But this morning, when I opened up the door in downstairs, the kitty came right in and then sat on the towel that I set down on the floor and then made herself comfortable because the heater was in there. And so I came up here and was getting stuff done to get ready to record. Heater cooled down enough. She came in, and then before I could sit down, was in my chair. Now, I'd had to fight with her a little bit yesterday over this. I got her out of my chair several times, but then I picked her up and I put some of my clothing over on the floor over there yesterday because it smells like me, and if she wants to be in the room with me, that's fine. Maybe she'd go and sit on that. She didn't like it because it was on the floor. I picked her up off here, took her over there, set her down on the clothing on the floor, and before I even got back over here, she was in this chair again. So I thought about this after taking her down again, and then whoop, she was back up. I have a chair that I keep just outside of the door there because when I have to blow the dust out of my computer, I bring the chair in, set the computer on the chair, blow the dust out, etc., etc. I use it as a quote-unquote table. So I thought, maybe it's not so much the comfort thing, maybe it's not so much this, because she loves to sit in my housemate's chair downstairs. When he's not playing games on the Xbox, she'll be sleeping in his chair. So I brought the chair in, set it over there, picked up that laundry off the floor, put it onto the chair as a padding, picked her up off here, set her on the chair. She's perfectly happy. She's over there, she's grooming herself, she's sitting on the laundry on the chair. That's what she wanted. She wanted a chair. So she's sitting on a chair, and it's a good thing. She's a very good kitty. She's an older kitty. She was born in like 2003? It wasn't long after we had gotten married, I and my wife, and she was starting to be hospitalized when we had cats, and she was born with a whole bunch of kittens. And then my in-laws took her, and then she rediscovered Jen and I when we moved in across the street from the in-laws, and then she readopted us, and then when I moved into the garage, she completely adopted me again. I had no choice as to whether or not I had a cat, because when I moved out of the garage and moved here, guess who showed up on my doorsteps a few days later? The kitty. So she managed to track me down. And so, yeah, I keep hold of her and I keep her here and I keep her happy and fed, and she's an old kitty and it's good. We're not allowed to have cats here. But I don't have a cat because I know I can't have a cat. A cat has me, but she's a good kitty. One thing I wanted to talk about, oh boy, and there's not much time left, but I'll try and ramble about this for a few seconds, is I watched this Kurzgesagt video about the plastic pollution and the plastic problem we have on our planet right now. The thing with plastics is they are long polymer chains. Long polymer chains are not uncommon in nature. In fact, that's how we know about them. Hair is a long polymer chain, and a polymer chain is just a repeating chain of molecules. The keratin of your hair is just polymers. The chitin of insects is polymers. It's just long, repeating chains of molecules. They're just polymers. That's why they last for so long after the death of the creature. That's why you've got bug bodies left for so long. That's why hair lasts for so long after the rest of the body decays. Because long polymer chains take a long time to break down. Nothing wrong with that. Thing is, when we made plastics, when we discovered how to make artificial plastics, where we take artificial synthetic molecules and put them together into polymer chains, which remember is just repeating molecules. Chains are repeating molecules. We break apart fossil fuels, put those molecules together into new polymer chains. That's why we had all these different types of plastics, because of the different polymer chains. There's the Bakelite and the PVCs and all that. It's amazing stuff. Problem is, of course, with the plasticization of everything we've got, plastic takes so long to break down because of the artificial, synthetic nature of them. They're so long lasting. It takes 500 to 1,000 years for simple, basic plastic to break down. That means that we've been making plastic for 100 years. The first plastic that we made up still has 400 years to go before it is even the possibility of being broken down completely. These synthetic chains are so long-lasting, and unfortunately, when they come apart in the process of breaking down and become less than 5 millimeters in size and become microplastics, that's when it's bad, because the world is now filled with microplastics. Everything eats microplastics because it looks like food, and so the small things eat it, the bigger things eat them, and then it comes up. Our bodies are now filled with microplastics, and we don't know what the full danger of all this is. We already know that the BPAs that make these polymer chains transparent affects testosterone. And our bodies are full of BPAs. We don't know what's going to happen. And our whole world is screwed in many, many different ways. But because it's 15 minutes and 40 seconds, I have opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people. Thank you so much for having left me a comment. I'm not reading them right now. I read them before I record. I read them afterward. I thumbs up each one I read. I answer as many as I can. But for right now, I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. If I mispronounce your username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. And it's a range of 20 to 25 because even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand, with my fibro and widower brain, my post-acute withdrawal syndrome, my wife having died, my mother having just died, it's really, really hard to keep things straight in my head. So I'm going to do the best I can. I'm calling up Kroom right now. It's somewhere. Kira Linham, thank you very, very much. And Flippin' Adams, a heck of a name. Zaid Hamed, thank you very, very much. Studious Douche, greatly appreciated. Played Plane 61. Gamester, greatly appreciated. Hussein Ansel, I know I'm nowhere close, but thank you very, very much. And Aiden Young, greatly appreciated. Tej Hanley, I sure hope I'm close. Tall Dude, 123, thumbs up and thank you. S8498, thank you very, very much. Dusty M, greatly appreciated. Latina Girl 18, thumbs up and thank you. Young Nut, thank you very much. Deanna Lopez, greatly appreciated. Alexander Hashimo Hosani, boy, I hope I'm close, but I bet I'm not. Thank you very, very much. Gideon Nightingale, thank you very, very much. Nicholas Paquette, greatly appreciated. Just Chris, thumbs up and thank you. Kurdish Razor, I sure hope I'm close, thank you very much. Arif Rahman Hakim, thank you very, very much. Carl Cash, greatly appreciated. Kathy Kitscat, good to see you in the comments. Bayou Adam, thumbs up and thank you. And last but not least, Yuval Grossman, greatly appreciated. Thumbs up and thank each and every one of you. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Thank you very much. One of my biggest problems and things that I'm working on is the social anxieties, trying to get out and meeting people. I'm getting more and better at it, but I'm kind of stalled. I haven't been able to see my therapist for about a month. My progress has stalled and I can feel it. I'm stuck. What do I do? Oh yes. If you could check out my various links down below. Boy, I just lost where I was entirely. That would be very cool. I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, Google+. Also, I have a gaming channel with a link down there. If you could check that out and help me get it monetized, it would be awesome. I try to do a daily game on there. And also the games that I do in things on this channel is links. I'll have like game number 13 on this channel, then game number 14 on the game channel, and then I'll start with game 15 on this channel. So if you ever wonder why there's gaps, they're on the other channel. Thumbs up. Now, if you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be very, very cool. Very beautiful. Very awesome. But if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes. I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be cool. I would understand if you don't want to, but I'm going to do my best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time if you do so, and even if you don't. So thumbs up on that. I also have an Amazon wish list if you wanted to check that out and support me in some ways without actually sending me money. It's got all sorts of things from like hamster food to a PlayStation VR set, so no matter where you are on the level of the level, spectrum of financial stability, there's something for everybody. So thumbs up and thank you. Don't feel obligated. I don't feel entitled, but it would be cool. I'm also partnered with humblebundle.com. I have been paid by them, paid partnership. They have ebooks, development software, e-comics, games. Check them out. They're really cool. If you use my link down there, I get paid for it. So son of a gun, I'm going to have a reaction video today, going to have a game video, hopefully a game video. Hopefully if I don't fall asleep, I'll actually be streaming. I'm getting closer to 20 minutes, but I'm not there yet. So you take care, and I will see you on the flip side.